Hello, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. Just a little catch-up review today on another edition of Bastard Talks Bollocks, because I am doing these catch-up reviews because I've been meaning to actually do proper edited reviews, and I just haven't had the chance to get down to edit them. I've been busy finishing off my 007 reviews, as well as getting my Halloween reviews done as well. I've also been getting a little Halloween list video together as well. Another 10 scary bastards that should be coming up maybe the third week of Halloween. I still need to do Hocus Pocus 2. That's coming up because it's a terrible film and I need to do a shit one for Halloween. Like a good one, a kiddie one, maybe a guilty pleasure one, and maybe a list show or whatever. And maybe in downright, well, we'll see anyway. Still got another few to make. I still got to do Christmas ones to get out of the way with, and it's good to get it sort of like done a few weeks in advance before the actual holiday. But thanks for joining me, Nix. Hope my microphone is coming across pretty well. This is a new one because I've been hearing myself on the mobile phone, and it's sounding a little bit like I'm coming in and out in the submarine. So without further ado, let's just crack on with the catch-up review. So the first item on the agenda is, of course, Americana, starring Sydney Sweeney, Halsey, Paul Waterhauser, and some other actors. I forgot. What's his name? Eric Dane. That's it. So I was really I think it's okay. I think it's an okay film in places. I think Chris Gore has been a little bit more harder on it, but I don't totally agree with him either. I mean, there is something a little bit, it's got kind of this patriarchy thing going on with the white man stole our land, but then again, you can sort of argue that I'll go through the plot anyway. It's all about this rare Lakota ghost ship that belonged to some native Indian that gets robbed because it's worth millions, and it ends up and the robbers, the burglars, kind of end up getting in possession of it, as well as kind of like these other individuals that want to get their hands on it, everything, like the dealers, these radical sort of Marxist Native American radicals. And then it also involves this kid called Calstar, played by Gavin Maddox here, and he is pretty good. I like this kid. He's annoying as fuck in it, but he's hilariously annoying as fuck. He's like this kid who pretty much thinks he's like the reincarnation of some Native American from years ago, and he's always talking weird, saying like, my brothers are in the souls and they cannot rest until I achieve. It's weird. He gets some weird dialogue, but he fucking delivers it really well. And he kicks ass, by the way. Though he does pretty much kill someone and doesn't really seem to be affected by it. So, yeah, maybe this kid's a bit fucking nuts. Who knows? But then we get this other storyline with Halsey as this Joan Jett lookalike. And to be honest, I thought the film was set in like the late 70s for a second. But no, it's just, she just kind of looks like Joan Jett for some reason. And Sydney Sweeney's in it, as well as a very shy waitress called Penny Jo, and Paul Walter Hauser is this former veteran soldier, very kind-hearted sort of rancher called Lefty, and he's a little bit different to the parts he usually plays. He always plays these like bumbling fat nerds, but here he's kind of this sort of based ex-veteran. He's actually very charming. He's actually very endearing. He's a little bit more can't really figure the word. He's a romantic as well. It is he wears his heart on his sleeve a bit too much. And he and Sydney Sweeney do have some very good chemistry. I was really enjoying some of the scenes with them, and the more the movie went on, I was kind of hoping it would be more just about them. And Sydney Sweeney is also very adorable. She plays the very shy Penny Joe very well. She's like a singer, but she's not very confident in on coming up on the stage. And yeah, there we go. Yeah, I enjoyed Americana. I fell asleep to Together. I forgot Spinal Tap existed and had a sequel, and just finished watching Mobland. I can't wait for next season. Yeah, I'll get to them soon. All right, fan dad, how you doing, man? Yeah, this is why I need a proper PC, because I'm kind of going back and forth on the the tabs. If I had 2 monitors, I'd be able to look for it. Well, I had some people say, ask, is 3 monitors enough? And some are saying you can never have enough monitors. Yeah, you can. Yeah, when Sydney Sweeney's in there, who gives a fuck about the other actors? It doesn't matter if they're the next fucking Henry Fonda. No, Sydney Sweeney is always a win. But, the kid is really messed up and plays it quite good. Yeah, I do like it, but I think it kind of goes down a little bit with Dior. It's like kind of when she meets this sort of like when you meet Halsey's parents, and the kind of these patriarchy guys will sell their daughters to like suitable men. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, Together One and Work was a weird one, yeah, and I will get to that soon. Toxic. So I don't know. Maybe there is some kind of wokeness in there, and that maybe Chris Gore probably is right, but I think he was a little bit more harder on it than I expected. I thought it was okay. I just didn't think it stuck the landing. There are some funny moments, like the guy from Scary Movie 3 who plays this dealer guy, and he shows up with a belt that was actually, I think, worn by Wilfred Brimley, and he's proper boasting about it. There was a couple of good lines, and once again, Gavin's reaction with Hank Spears is actually really funny as well. As like, kid, I don't know if you noticed this, but this is not the golden age for cultural appropriation. That was kind of funny. There are a few funny lines. I think the director Tony Toast has some potential. He knows how to shoot these movies, and there is a bit of a Coen Brothers No Country for Old Men mixed with Fargo vibe going on there. So he's definitely got a style. I just think he should have had I just think the script could have done with being polished, because I think there is a really, really fantastic film in there, and it just doesn't always stick the landing. Another thought on this as well, and I've just forgotten about it. It is really fucking escaped my mind. I thought Lefty could have been utilized a bit better as well, because he's supposed to be a sexy soldier, yet he kind of gets fucking his ass handed to him a little bit too easily, and he never really gets into much action. He spends most of the time getting injured, but he is very charming. Sydney Sweeney, once again, charming, and the actors are doing the best with what they have there. No, it wasn't Hank Spears, it was Ghost Eye. That's it, Ghost Eye. But there were some things where when there's a shootout at the Halsey's father's place, and the women are grabbing guns to defend themselves, and the guys are like, "Hey, they try to kill the women as well." It's like, shouldn't you be focusing on the guys that are shooting at your house? I mean, maybe put your fucking patriarchy thing aside and grab all the fucking hands you can get to take these bastards down. But it was stupid. It felt. It did. I think that's where I got the patriarchy thing a little bit, though. It felt like kind of like that, and. So yeah, it doesn't stick the landing. It's okay. Maybe with a few rewrites, it would have been an absolutely fantastic film, and it probably might be the reason why it's been sitting on the shelves for like 3 fucking years. I mean, it came out in 2023, but only just got released in America sometime last month. I don't know if it got released here, though. I've not seen anything. But we'll move on. The second film, Together, which I thought was a little bit better. Nothing totally not as groundbreaking as it should be, but it was still freaky. It sets out what it's about, what it's supposed to do, and it is freaky. And I do like the idea of this sort of failing couple who really are drifting apart, and they're trying to sort of desperately keep the relationship going, but Dave Franco's like this really passive guy. He's been traumatized by the loss. He's been traumatized by something that happened to him, and he's just really passive. He's kind of got this defeated spirit. He's got no motivation anymore. Now Alison Brie is the only one who's actually making something of herself. She's got a job, everything, and she even takes the time to propose to him. But then he starts getting all awkward, and he just freezes up. But yet she can't seem to get rid of him. Like she knows this guy is dragging her down, and he's not, despite her best attempts, he's not. He's not trying. He's not trying either, and yet she still can't seem to, be separate from him, because there's just some couples where really should end, really should finish, because they aren't doing each other any good, but they somehow end up staying with each other in there, because they've been together for so long. It's, who else can they go out with? I mean, what else are they gonna do? It's kind of one of those things, and I kind of liked that little play on that. So but once again, the acting is very good. But there's a few times where I thought, why isn't Alison Brie sort of figuring this out a bit quickly? Because it's kind of fucking weird. I mean, Dave Franco, I think he figures it out a bit quicker. I can't remember now. I've only watched it once, but when it gets to the freaky stuff, like when the bodies start, really starts to melt together, it is pretty fucking intense. And there are some very good dark laughs, which sort of like ease the tension without compromising the disturbing imagery. And I love body horror. I love body horror. I'm squeamish, but there's something fascinating about a human body just sort of like turned into something that doesn't look human, or something weird, is like this weird kind of like artistic mutilation with a human body. I mean, David Cronenberg still fucking excels at that stuff, in my opinion. But we do get there's some other good actors as well on there. I mean, Damon Herriman, he's always worth watching, and it does kind of lead more back into these weird cults and all that other things. But I think the actors do come across as a convincing couple who, you kind of feel sorry for them a little bit, but at the same time, they aren't doing each other any favors. But once again, you do sort of see why they are not separated. And like I said, this is something that has rung true with a lot of couples. I know a few couples of before in the past who really should not have been together, but they ended up being together for so long. It's like, it's like being together gives them meaning whether their lives are failing together or not. But so moving on, this is an okay film. I probably will still watch it again. I think it's something worth watching when there's nothing else on. But I still like, but it does have some very memorable gross body horror, and I do love the little moment where near the end when two become one by the Spice Girls plays, and okay, that was actually very kind of funny and very clever. And okay, you get Alison Brie's tits out there as well, which isn't so bad. So yeah, moving on from this one, and Spinal Tap 2. I don't think I'll have a chance to edit. I might try to edit this later, but I'll give my first impressions just in case. So Spinal Tap 2, the end continues, and it was kind of what I was expecting anyway. It's nothing really that, groundbreaking. It does feel a little bit like nostalgic cashing, but it feels very watered down as well. And I'll give them a positives. I think the actors are still okay in this. I think they've still got some good chemistry. There is still some heart, and the jokes don't always quite land though, but you can see they're really, doing their best, despite their advancing age, because most of them are in the late 70s and 80s now, and you do get a few cameos as well from Paul McCartney and Elton John, and they do surprisingly lead to some very funny laughs. I mean, there's one where Paul McCartney comes in and they're all having this little rehearsal, and then it cuts to Michael McKean's character, David, sort of saying, and I'm not going to give it away, but his reaction was really fucking funny. I'm not going to lie. There were a couple of moments that were actually very funny. I think, and there are some like fall flat as well, like Nigel Tufnell's sort of cheese thing. It was a little bit funny at the beginning, but it kind of felt like it was going downhill a little bit. And I think some people are going to be very put off by Rob Rano as well, because he's been acting like a total libtard. And yeah, I've been seeing some comments saying that I will not give any money to people who hear me, and I don't blame them, because Hollywood, the fact that they're going even more they're not just doubling down, they're tripling down on the libtardness. I mean, keep it at fucking home, all right? Just promote your movie. Promote your bloody movie. But it does lack a little bit of that big bombastic rock and roll feel of the first, because the majority of this movie takes place in a rehearsal room, right? Which is it's one rehearsal room. It's not like they're going on tour and rehearsing different rehearsal rooms, because it's just for one gig and that's it. And it doesn't really feel like as grand as the first one. The first one had them going for all over these different cities, you know, touring, you know, having these big bombastic stage sets and everything. It was a really good take on the whole pretentiousness of rock and roll, and how they're really just these artsy-fartsy nerds who somehow fool people into thinking they're cool just because they wear these tight spandex and play guitar riffs. You know, it's like, because that's a rock star. I mean, rock stars are basically nerds who look cool because they can play fucking guitar and do drugs. The first one is still the best. This isn't totally terrible. There is, like I said, the actors still have some good chemistry, and they're doing the best with what they have, and they are still very convincing us, these characters. And there was a nice little bit at the end in between where Nigel and David sort of fall out, but then David sort of sees these two blues singers in New Orleans sort of doing a little bit of busking, and it kind of it kind of reminds him of you know, just how fucking important their friendship is, and that was actually very sweet. And they do bring back Stonehenge a little bit, and it was kind of funny. It's nowhere near as good as the last one. But I'm not going to lie, it did end the film on a very sort of cynical note, which, okay, I'll give it that. That was actually very funny. You know, I mean, there's heart, but there's a cynicism to it as well, which I always loved about the first one. But yeah, moving on now. It's an okay film. Best wait for streaming, though. It is best wait for streaming. So yeah, moving on to Mobland. Let's get that up. I've been trying to fucking get time to write this down and edit a proper video together, and I probably will soon as well, like the Bastard Recommends, something like that. I might do another edition of videos called Bastard's Yorkshire Puddings, you know, like something for films that are never the best, but still have something worth watching. But I'm getting off track. Mobland, and this might be one of my favorite TV shows of this year, because Reacher 3 was okay, but there was a lot fucking wrong with it. I mean, there was a lot wrong with this as well, but it was very compelling, and all the actors are on the fucking top of their game. I mean, Paddy Considine, who's always a favorite of mine, bloody Tom Hardy. I mean, they do make some very convincing brothers, even though they are really totally related. And the plot is basically about this gangster's son who's murdered. And he's the son of Jeff Bell here. Harry played by Jeff Bell. Why am I getting the characters' names wrong again? Fucking hell, let's have a look. Let's go down. You know, so I don't embarrass myself any more than I should. Yeah, Richie. That's it, played by Jeff Bell. Harry is Pierce Brosnan. We'll get to him soon, though. Yeah, so it's basically his son is killed by Eddie Harrington, and the family are basically trying to cover this all up. You know, they're trying to avoid a big war going off, but Richie's he's not buying it as well. He knows what they're up to. And Jeff Bell is, once again, he's another very underrated actor in my opinion. I mean, the guy is just so fucking menacing. He's got this face. I mean, look at him, man. Ever since I first saw him in like The Business, I mean, this guy is he's got a very characteristic face. A face with character, I do apologize. And yeah, Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan, they are both superb. They are fucking superb in this. Pierce Brosnan, he's a piece of shit in this fucking show. He really is. He's absolutely detestable. And he's enjoying every single moment of it. I love Helen Mirren. She's just as detestable. Maybe even more detestable. I mean, you can sort of say that Harry was this great gangster, but he's really losing it now. He's allowing this horrible old hag to just sort of twist him. She's basically Lady Macbeth. She's pulling all the strings. She's working everyone like chess pieces, but at the same time, she's very arrogant as well, because, you know, she ends up getting someone close to her killed as well. And Tom Hardy is he's the guy who should be leading this fucking family now, because he's the only one who seems to be sort of like 10 steps in front as well. He's always sort of like he's always strategizing on the go. Yeah, you always get the feeling that and he adapts as well. He fucking adapts, and he's menacing as well. He never yells. He just uses a bit quiet little company voice to show he fucking means business, you know. And it's brilliant. It's actually brilliant. Eddie Harrington is like this very arrogant fucking psychopath. He's just horrible, and Anderson Boone plays him really well. He wants to be this big gangster, but he's not smart enough, so he's very bitter and very contemptible. Where's this other actress as well? I mean, there's another character as well, Seraphia Harrigan. She's kind of like this very sort of smart, savvy negotiator, and she does kind of become a little bit more. You know, she kind of does get a bit involved in mob. I thought her character was a little bit less interesting, but I did prefer it to Joanne Froggett's character, who's, I don't know, she seems pissed. She's like, oh, I'm so pissed off because I live a life where I get to spend loads of my husband's money, even though it was ill-gotten, and she's like, you're still spending his fucking money, you know. If you didn't like it, you know, you should have left him ages ago. And not in that, she gets the bloody gang into a lot of bloody trouble. There's one part where Harry warns her not to discuss anyone. Where Conrad, plays by Pierce Brosnan, tells her not to fucking speak to anyone outside the family. And guess what? Jan does. She speaks to this random stranger she met a few weeks ago. I mean, are you bloody stupid? And guess what? She ends up being a bloody informant. But it is very intense as well. It's very intense. It's very violent. It's very nasty. It's very gritty. The theme song is brilliant. I just love it. I was like, I'll work out to that bloody song as well because it just gets you motivated. I didn't really like Harry's daughter Gina as well. She's supposed to be real soft, but yeah, she's just being a typical teen. She gets with this. She actually gets off with a family member. And I thought, ugh. Then again, I don't think they're blood related. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's go on to this chat. So, okay. Okay, what about potato horror? Oh, yeah, from where we should do that. Yeah, start with 2 monitors, then we can talk upgrading to the minimum. 6 required. Yeah. How about make it 10? Make it 100. I just slap them all over the walls. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so yeah, Hello Toxic. And Mandy Star was cool. It's supposed to be cultish. I think it was. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe I just saw a little bit of the patriarchy thing. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I think, yeah, potato horror. Yeah, we need more potato horrors. I don't think we have one potato horror, do we? We have tomato horror with Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Tomatoes. The first 30 minutes could be compressed to 5 minutes, including a pee break. Okay, so no clue about Spinal Tap-wise. Everyone recommended it. First one is brilliant. If you're not being sarcastic, yeah, I won't even bother. Yeah, I don't blame you. Nick's check us out Thursday. We're filling for Offenbach. Yes, and I will be on that. So a little promotion there. I will be on for Nielsen ratings tomorrow as well because he's moving it tomorrow because I think it's his girlfriend or friend. Connie's having one last day in England and he wants to spend more time with her tonight. And I don't blame him, you know. Personal life comes first. Mobland was good. Top acting for sure, yeah. Hopefully don't Netflix it. Season 2s have a curse nowadays. Well, it's on Paramount, so I don't know. Paramount's pretty weird. I mean, sometimes it can be, there's times where they really woke, but at the same time, there's sort of like letting directors do their own thing as well. It depends. I didn't like that new Boss What's Her Name Cat. I have a feeling about her role in the future season. Yeah, I'm going to have to rewatch it again though, do a proper edited review because they seem to be the one that get better views. Did you see The Long Walk? Excited for it, man. I've not watched The Long Walk yet. I've been hearing people are a bit disappointed in it. I'll still check it out. I did read a little bit of the audio, listen to a bit of the audio book until YouTube took it off, which was annoying. But it was getting pretty interesting as well. You know, they were walking for ages. I even liked how it was describing how his kid's feet was like starting to, you know, leak pus because he'd been walking for so long that his feet were getting all blistery and infected, and it was horrible. So yeah, Demon Knight 995. Okay, back to Mobland. I think there was a few holes in the plot. RT and Z kind of pointed out, which was pretty good. Like, what is Helen Mirren's game? You know, she's trying to get Eddie to be the next big boss. You know, she's kind of favoritizing him, but you know, does she not realize he's not really smart enough to handle his family? I mean, there is that, and it does kind of feel like it was throwing in some new characters straight away, a little bit too many characters. And I think Stephen Toby, fucking short guy from Captain America, the first one. Let's get is it Stephen Tobbins? Let me get him up. He's a good actor, really good actor. I love him. He's in Detectorists. He's very good. Where are you? Stephen Tobbins. Christ, man. I might have missed him. But he's a good actor. He's a very tiny guy. Even though he's like this really tiny little Toby Jones. That's it. Not Stephen Tobin. Who the fuck, Stephen Tobin? Yeah, I thought he got introduced a little bit. I was to the point where I was thinking, okay, are they trying to throw too many characters in there? But we'll see what happens with season 2. And then we got this other gang war going on with these. I think it's the Latvians or something. But it's we'll see what happens with season 2. I really hope. I think I've heard the season 2 is coming out. I really hope there is. But apart from that, it's got its problems. But the cast is top draw. Is probably the best thing Guy Ritchie's done since The Covenant. It more than makes up for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Very gripping watch. I don't want to spoil too much, even though it's all the episodes are available on Paramount or the me hearties. So do check it out. Hopefully, and do let me know your thoughts in the comments about these films. You know, did you agree with my opinion on them? Did you not? Whether you disagree or not, it's your comments are very, very, very valuable. They help the algorithm, and yeah, and please, if you do get a chance, do share this channel amongst more people if you can. Let's try and see if we can get the subs up a bit more. I'm not going to focus too much on trying to get to 2K right now. I mean, I'll just get the stuff out. Try and focus on just getting a few more subs, a few more viewing hours, you know, so I can get myself monetized, you know, and hope that most of my copyright claims can be disputed and I actually win those cases in order to get monetized, which I very fucking doubt because they're looking for any excuse to flag you because YouTube are twats. So yeah, mystery, yes, we are filling in for now on Open Bar. Wish there could be originals. Damn, you're gonna hit the drink it to cancel us. Yeah. So yeah, Mr. 8, thanks, Nix. Yeah, Toby J is amazing. It's almost all roles I've seen him in, but he's somehow typecasted. Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to. You can't really cast him as Arnold Schwarzenegger in his life story, can you, Toby Jones? Because you know, it's a very. I think he can play different characters. I think he's very menacing he's very creepy in Doctor Who, and he was very calm. He was very funny and sort of. He had this warmth to him in Detectorists, which is a very underrated show. I need to review that because that is fucking amazing. That is a really funny show. That really is. You can chill out, and it's a nice little chilled out show to watch as well. Which is why I like it. Yeah. Do you do gaming? I am trying to see if I can get around to doing gaming. I've done a couple of like gaming streams. I've done Resident Evil and The Last of Us, and that's about it. The Resident Evil remake, but I don't want to try and get a few old school gaming reviews down though. I would like to review like like Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil and that because you can really get a lot of material out of it as well because it kind of revolutionized horror games, but at the same time it's goofy as fuck. There's a lot of like cringe acting, but you kind of get it as well. You know it makes sense why the acting's bad because it's Japanese and they could only get whoever actors they could, and they weren't even experienced actors. So, yeah, 95. I used to do some, but it's time restriction. I wish I had time to game sometimes. Yeah, I try to do. I do a little bit of game in my private time if I get a chance. But editing videos is it's very time consuming. I mean, you got to write the thing, and you got to get the clips, and you got to try and make sure you're not making any mistakes, which is I occasionally do, and end up putting the video out with some of the errors in, like grammar errors, whatever. But it's one of those things, especially when you press for time. I don't always mean to. But apart from that, yeah, this is my catch-up reviews, and hoping I can get another proper edited review at some time next week. So thanks for joining me, Nix, Mr. E, Demon Knight. Yeah, keep sharing this channel. I'll keep sharing yours as well. Please subscribe to Low Toxic as well, and Mr. E, because he's going to get his channel up. Fandad Menace. Hopefully you can get some more stuff done again, because and I will happily support it. So, Nix, once again, thanks for joining me. You're always welcome. Yeah, sad we missed you on Friday because we had the Angry Bootneck, and he's a bigger YouTuber as well. He's got a bit of a following at the moment, so I'm hoping I could get him on again. But yeah, and tomorrow around about 10, I'll be on the Nielsen ratings with the Outcast Creative Lance, and I'll be guesting on Low Toxic's On Tap. I'm going to try and see if I can get the intro for him as well. Don't get the intro for him done as well before that date, which should be a couple of shouldn't take too long. It's a little intro. Intros usually end up being quicker for me, depending on the material, anyways. But and Saturday I will be doing a Red Dwarf stream with Admiral Teague and other guests and Critical. And that should be a good little stream as well. You know, I'm going to be talking about the whole Fest series. I'll, try if I can get that done in a couple of hours, because they're very half-an-hour episodes out there to talk about. So I might have to do a little sand timer on them just in case. Who knows? We'll see. So apart from that, thanks for joining me, you beautiful bastards. And whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not. Oh, sorry about that. Northern English or not, thanks for watching, and do remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and to ring that bell in order to be notified. And if you wish to further support this channel, links will be in the description below. But right now, that's me done, and I'm off to the pub. I'll catch you lot later.
Baked potato changed my life. Baked potato showed me the way. If you want to know what is wrong from right, you must listen to what potatoes say.
Don't be good, don't be bad.
Baked potato.
Don't be happy, don't be sad.
Thank you, baked potato. And if you want to have a better day, you must listen to what the baked potatoes say.
Don't be early, don't be late.
Thank you, baked potato.
Always eat what's on your plate.
Thank you, baked potato. And if you want to have a better day, you must listen to what